guys, I'm doing a video where I talk at you about stuff, and today's stuff is going to be about all-time low, because I saw them on Valentine's Day. I was going to do a Tumblr text post about it, like everything, but then I thought, no one reads my Tumblr text posts, no one's going to have enough patience to sit there and read. It's a lot better if someone talks to you, and also you can get things across better if you're speaking. And also I can be bothered to type. I would rather say it to you. In the background we have Don't Panic, because I think it really fits, seeing as All-Time Low is the band I'm talking about once again. By the way, not all my videos are going to be about All-Time Low. I think after February ends, because it's their last day of tour in the UK, February's been kind of a big hype month for me about All-Time Low, because I saw them twice and I met them and stuff, so I don't want to make you think this is all I'm ever going to talk about, because it's not. Like, I do have some other interests, even though they are a massive interest, but after, I'm going to find some more interesting things to do videos on. After the hype, I think all the All-Time Low hype will hype down after they leave the UK, so I think I need a break from it because it's kind of driving me crazy. I went to see All-Time Low on Valentine's Day and I've lost the ticket. I've just lost the ticket. I have one of those Ticketmaster tickets because I don't know if you know, but it sold out before I managed to get a ticket. And my friend, one of my best friends who I'm going with, bought her ticket thinking that it'll be fine and I'll buy mine later, because I couldn't, because my family was out. And then it sold out. I tried to buy my ticket and it had sold out. So I had to buy my ticket off of someone else. So I paid a lot of money for it, and it was one of those pretty Ticketmaster paper ones. They're really ugly. So I have that ticket, but then in the station, we were going back home afterwards, I found this one on the floor, which is a All-Time Low seated ticket for my date. But I thought, I'm just going to take it. It doesn't matter that it's seated, so I just took someone else's ticket on the way back. So yeah, I went to see them on Valentine's Day. I didn't really get excited for it until like 2 hours before we left, because basically Alex got ill, as you all know if you're in the fandom, and he had to they had to cancel the acoustic show and signing in Kingston, like the one that I went to last week. They had to cancel it. And I was like, oh god, they're going to cancel my date, aren't they? I feel so bad if any of you watching this were caught up in that problems with that being cancelled. Then I feel really, really bad for you, because I know it really hurt a lot of people, but what can you do? It's just something that happens. But I was really scared that my date was going to be cancelled, but it wasn't, so it was all good. Okay, so we left for it. At about 10:30 we got on the train to London, and it was me and 3 other people travelling up to London. First time I've ever travelled to London without an adult, and I was fucking scared because I'm not very good at navigating my way around trains and tubes. But we only had to get one tube, and we got there completely smoothly, and we were actually there by 11:30 when doors opened at 7 PM, and we were 30th in queue. And I don't know if you've ever been to Shepherd's Bush, which is where it was, Shepherd's Bush Empire. The Empire is like here, and there's a triangle in the middle of like grass and paths, and then on this side of the triangle there's like shops. And we were like down the little alleyway by the stage door, so we have like a wall to lean on. Then they moved the queue, so it was just along the shops, and they just said no wall. I feel sorry for them. I could not have sat there for 8 hours without a wall to lean on. But yeah, we were 30th in line. We were so close to the front, and we dumped our stuff and we went off exploring and got McDonald's and Starbucks. And queuing for 8 hours wasn't actually that bad, for a few reasons. The first reason was that everyone in All-Time Low actually did walk past us, so that was exciting. I think I stopped breathing for a few seconds. They didn't all walk past at once. Ryan walked past first, but hardly anyone recognised him because his hair is all hair now, but I did. And there was hardly any people when he walked past us, you know, we were just arrived, so there wasn't really many people. And then Zach walked past later, and he walked past a few times actually. He went down and up, and down. And then Alex and Jack and then loads of the crew walked past us later on, and people were squealing. So that was the best part of queuing, was that they all walked past. The other good part was that I had the shops and stuff and toilet, and there was a lot of people around and there was stuff to do, so queuing for 8 hours wasn't that bad. Doors opened at 7 PM, and when we first got in we were 4 rows from barrier, and we were like, fuck yeah, 4 rows from barrier, this is so good, and the stage was right there, and we were actually so surprised at how small the venue was. Well, actually, to be honest, it wasn't that small the venue, but there wasn't much standing. There was like 3 levels of seating, and I looked up and it was just like a sea of people in the seating, but there was like hardly any like standing space. So we were like 4 rows from barrier, we were so happy, and we actually went to merch first because Catherine wanted to get a t-shirt, and I got this wristband, the red one. Don't panic when you can't see it, it's blurry, but it cost me £8 fucking, and I have no idea why I spent £8 fucking on a piece of rubber that goes on my wrist, but who cares? I don't really regret it. So yeah, for the summer set we were 4 rows from barrier, and there were these fucking really annoying, if you're watching this, then please know that you were really annoying. These really annoying girls next to us for the summer set, and they were like squealing and screaming extremely loud, and that wasn't even the bit that annoyed me. It was that after the summer set, you know, they pass water from the barrier and you pass it back. Well, they got a cup, and it was like this full, and I don't know if they understood what they were supposed to be doing with it, but they just fucking glugged it down. Like, these 5 girls just took all of this water that was meant for, like, you know, I was fucking dying, and I always get so thirsty at gigs, and these 4 girls, or 5 girls, or how many there were, they drank all the water, and then they got another cup, and they drank all of that as well. And I was like, excuse me, you're going to pass it to me? And I was voicing that I was pissed off. I was going like, oh, I'm so thirsty, I really need some water. And they were just glaring at me like, oh, I hate people sometimes. But yeah, then the Atlantis started. And that's when the problem started, because of how much the crowd was pushing. And I would have been alright with it, because I don't mind pushy crowds. I'm not a pussy, I'm not one of these people who's like, don't touch me in a crowd. But the problem was, we started off 4 rows from barrier. By the middle of their set, we have moved back like 3 or 4 rows, and we were like, I couldn't even see the stage anymore, and there were these human giraffes in front of me, and we were being pushed around so much I could hardly stay on my feet. I felt like I was going to pass out. I have never felt that close to passing out at a gig in my entire life, and I've seen heavier bands, and the crowds have been rougher, and I've never felt that close to passing out. So we actually, after Atlantis, because we were so far back there was no way we were going to get water, we had to leave the crowd, and I was so pissed off that we'd been pushed back that far and people pushed in front, because we queued for 8 hours, like 8 hours in the street, and we were planning to get far forward, and we ended up at the back, like right at the back. And at the start I was really pissed off. I was like, oh, it's gonna be shit. You know, we travelled all the way to London, we queued for 8 hours, and now we're this far back at the queue. Not queue, crowd, whatever, you get me. But then, when they actually started, I was incredibly glad of where we were. I could see perfectly, I could hear perfectly. We were still in the crowd, like everyone around us was still jumping and singing, but we weren't being suffocated, we weren't being like pushed. Like, I could see everyone in the main crowd was being so pushed, and then when like circuit opened, everyone was being pushed apart. And I just wouldn't have been able to enjoy it, especially how I felt like I was going to pass out. So where we were, at the back, it was fucking amazing. Like, the best gig I've ever been to. Well, apart from the first 2 bands. I like them, but like not the crowds. Yeah, it was fucking amazing, and I don't know, I can't even, like, it made me realise like why I love All Time Low so much. They're literally like the best live band. They're just as good live as they are on recordings, if not better. And I was so glad, and by the end of it I wasn't even gutted that we queued for 8 hours and got that far back. I was happy, you know. We queued for 8 hours, now I know not to do it again. You know, now I know there's no point, you're just gonna get pushed back from where you are anyway. Also, I'm considerate. If there are people in front of me and they've been queuing for longer than me, or they've, you know, been there for longer, I'm not gonna push in front of them. I'm not gonna elbow them out the way and, you know, drag my friends in front of them, because, you know, that's not a very fair thing to do, and I like to be fair for people. So when we got pushed back, I wasn't even going to try and push me back in front of people. We just left, and I'm so glad we did. So if any of you are ever worrying about queuing up for something for 8 hours, I just wouldn't bother unless you really want to see the band walk past you for 3 seconds, because the gig was just as good at the back as I think it would have been in the middle where we were before, and you're not going to get a barrier anyway because of people with meet and greets and stuff. And yeah, all the way home I was suffering post-gig depression yesterday. I just didn't want to talk to anyone or anything. I was suffering, but I think I'm over it now, and now I just think it was fucking amazing. And if they tour again in autumn like they keep saying they're going to, then I'm going to go, hopefully to more than one date, because right now I have no gigs planned for like the future at all, so this is probably the most fucking boring video I've ever made, but I felt like I just had to say. So yeah, thank you for sticking with and watching this. If you have any questions for me in general about anything, you can ask in my Tumblr Ask or my Ask FM, or tweet me, whatever. I'll link it below. And that is all I wanted to say. Oh, also, do you like my poster? I think I do. See you later. Goodbye.